you didn't want to take any minutes of this here Cover 3 podcast to dance, to celebrate, to shoot off some fireworks.
Oh, for the SMU, for them getting it right.
Yeah, and for Alabama being left out.
No, I don't like kicking them while they're down.
Okay. I have been.
They've already been. Their athletic director has already gotten checked by community notes.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
That was unbelievable.
That was pretty wild. Like the whole idea of like they're basically pushing over future. We would like to have easier games in the non-con to give us more rest. You guys played Mercer a week before you got drugged by Oklahoma. This could not be a more inaccurate like idea that Greg Byrne has. Now, is there secret messaging here? Maybe like, hey, are we going to 9 games or not? Let us know. If we do, we need to drop some of these non-conference games.
They're not going to now. Sankey's, there's no chance they do now. He's going to be like, screw you guys.
You think this really has an impact on that, or you think it's just more posturing for them to get more money out of it?
More posturing.
I do too. I don't think that Sankey's not an idiot. He's a businessman. If you can make a lot more money, they're going to play 9 games.
Well,
and the format's going to change anyway.
Or they're going to do an SEC Big Ten challenge.
Sure.
Right. Maybe. But I mean, I will say, like, of the 11 playoff teams that are in a conference, so not including Notre Dame, 9 of them played Power 5 teams in their non-conference. You know what the difference was? They didn't lose 3 games.
Right.
I mean, it's like I understand the thought process of we have to schedule easier non-con because our conference is becoming more difficult and we're more likely to lose conference games. And if the committee is truly punishing you for losing games, no matter who they're against or who you beat, then it makes no sense for us to schedule big non-conference games because we need to just pile up the wins, because that's what SMU did. Although SMU played 2 Power 5 teams in their non-con, or you look at like the Indiana example. But it's just, it's a silly thing to me. I think it's just everybody's mad. I think if you're Alabama and you're the SEC in general, you're finding yourself in the position that every other conference has been in for the last 20 years, where they're not getting the benefit of the doubt, where the SEC team typically has always gotten the benefit of the doubt because it's the SEC team. And now for the first time, you don't get it. And it's like, what the hell? This is not how it's supposed to work. So there's kind of backlash to it. But I don't know. I think that it is fair to say that each of the Power 4 leagues should have a similar schedule. Like, you can't have a similar schedule strength because of the difference of teams in your league, but everybody should be playing 9 or 8. Everybody should have a Power 4 or not have a Power 4 on their non-con. But, and I've brought this up before, I don't know if I've brought it up on the show. The anger is misdirected if I'm an SEC athletic director or coach. Don't be mad at the selection committee.
They did their job.
Be mad at the guy Kirby was mad at on the stage the other night. You sold your television rights to one network. Your league was already the most difficult league in the country, according to you. We don't have to tell you that, but I mean, the results also verify that. You added Oklahoma and Texas to your league to improve the television value of it. Then you sold your games to one network who wants to fill 3 windows every Saturday and wants there to be marquee matchups in those windows so they can justify the amount they are paying you to have those games. Be mad at the people who made that happen, not the 12 people in a hotel conference room.
Yeah. And he knew it was a possibility as well. I just don't think that Sankey ever really, maybe he did. I don't want to put words in his mouth. Do you think that Sankey ever thought, hey, there's a real chance we don't have a team that is even top 4 worthy in prior years in our league?
No.
Because you got a bunch of teams that in prior years would have been like 5, 6, 7 seeds in the SEC this year. And that's not just an SEC exclusive thing. Like, the talent is more spread out throughout the sport. If you want to sit here and tell me that South Carolina and Ole Miss and those teams, or like 3-loss Bama, is playoff worthy, implicit in that is that they have some players who are not on the 3 SEC teams who did make it, because the talent is more spread out than it ever was before. You know, this kind of goes back to where A&M bought their entire D-line class 4 or 5 years ago. Well, those guys have transferred out elsewhere. Like, what's his name's at Ole Miss now? And Overton, is at Bama. Like,
didn't Shamar just hit the portal like this morning?
That I didn't see yet, but I mean, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the talent's more spread out. If you want to make an argument, you have like 7 playoff worthy teams or 6 or whatever. I guess it'd be 6, right? Because they're arguing for Ole Miss, Bama, South Carolina. It's also kind of implied in there, man, that like Georgia, Texas, and like those guys aren't really that good. Like they're good. Clearly, they're some of the best teams in the sport this year. But I think this Georgia team gets dog walked by last year's Georgia team, and especially by the two prior to that.